So, due to unforeseen circumstances, Reaper's Revenge has been canceled. It's your boy Chin, that freaking Mark, here today to talk to you about the pay-per-view that could have been, and hopefully will still partially be, in some sense. Let's yab on some more about it. So, first up, I kind of feel this part goes without saying, but we would have had ourselves the return of the Preacher and his cult. Presumably to make sure Matthew Justice doesn't think about pulling any kind of shenanigans again. Secondly up on the list, it's my list, it's no real list of relevance, just to clarify that real quick. We would have had the follow-up to Chris Dickinson talking all that smack to PCO at Burning Bridges, talking about how he's an old fart and he has to carry him around everywhere. Yo, Dickinson, I understand this is wrestling, but that doesn't mean we have to be rude about it, okay? PCO is like 50 years old and he's still out there bumping and jumping, so I'm actually really stoked to see it. I liked when Dickinson started talking all that smack. I was like, ooh, somebody's got a bit of a toot here. Yeah, but it's going to be a last man standing match, so presumably there's going to be a good amount of hell unleashed there because, you know, has to be enough so you can't stand up after a 10 count. I think it's going to be legit. Next up is the debut of Sam Adonis. Honestly, I'm not really too familiar with the guy other than the fact that he is the younger brother of Matthew Polinsky, a.k.a. Corey Graves, the best commentator of modern WWE. I was originally saying that sarcastically, but he probably is. Him and Tom Phillips like to hold it down in the bro code there. But yeah, Corey Graves' brother, Sam Adonis, was set to debut. I'm sure it'll come around eventually, but not this time. We would have also had to look forward to the BCW debut of La Familia Tequana, which I'm not personally as familiar with. I've definitely seen their faces before. I've seen them pop up in some promotions. I mean, dude, I'm all about it. The one guy has 666 written across his forehead, and from the picture that Blackcraft was using, the other guy kind of looks like some Pentagon Junior influence type. I'm pretty sure this guy's been around longer than Pentagon. Don't know it for sure. Somebody can call me out in the comments if anybody's even watching this. But yeah, more new crop for the roster. They look really metal. I like when things look really metal. We also would have had the defense of the Blackcraft Women's Championship. That, of course, would have been against Taya Valkyrie versus Saraya Knight. Saraya Knight being that she is the reigning, defending, undisputed Blackcraft Women's Championship. The master of the middle fingers, like she flipped off so many people at Burning Bridges. Let me tell you a funny story about Saraya Knight. I haven't mentioned it on the page yet, but me and my buddy Diggity, we flew on out to Pennsylvania to experience the burning of the bridges, and it was awesome, I may say. I just kind of used it as an excuse to get away from the house for a while, and it was well worth it. But the night before, they had the Blackcraft Black Carpet event. That was just thrown at a little bar. It was really cool. Me and Diggity were hanging out, and then as we were leaving, I couldn't help but notice that I had walked right past Paige. And I was like, okay, well, that's Paige. Probably should kick it and see what she's up to for a little bit. Paige fairly drunkenly stumbled to the floor and looked over in my way and was just kind of like, dude, can you help me up? I'm drunk on the floor here, and it'd be awesome. Yeah, so she reaches out, asks me to get her drunk ass off the floor, and who else but Saraya Knight cock blocks the holy hell out of me. It's not like I was going to bang your daughter in the middle of the bar floor, Saraya Knight. Yeah, moral of my story is that I got cock blocked by Saraya Knight at a bar one time. It's a fun little tidbit I figured that this video could use. Yep, so probably the thing I am the second most upset about having to wait to eventually see would be the BCW debut of who else but Gangrel. Like, seriously, with what Blackcraft is doing in their promotion, is there anyone else that just kind of fits that mold than Gangrel? If I have to recap for you, Gangrel is the vampire of the Attitude Era. Gangrel had the dopest entrance out of anyone in the Attitude Era, coming up through the Ring of Flames. It was freaking sick, especially when I was like 9. I was like, oh my god, dope, freaking lit. Yeah, really bummed. My inner like promoter was really hoping that there was some chance that the Woken Brood was gonna show up. That stable that never 100% came to fruition of Gangrel with the Woken Hardys. I mean, obviously that's not gonna happen. The Hardys are signed to WWE, but like, we can all dream. Yeah, and so here's the reason I say the Gangrel debut is the second thing that I was the most upset about, because this is the first. G-Raver versus Jimmy Havoc in a Devil's Den match, which essentially is just, yo, screw those ropes. We're going to use Chain Link instead. I know Jimmy Havoc specifically has a Tournament of Death championship under his belt there, but just the culmination of G-Raver and Jimmy Havoc, probably two of my favorite efforts from Burning Bridges, to see Jimmy Havoc put aside his quest for the BCW Heavyweight Championship for a second to just be like, yeah, I can actually make you bleed out, G-Raver, let's do that. Being the freaking mark that I am, when I saw that they announced that, I immediately had to respond and be like, yo, are you guys please, for the love of God, going to make G-Raver versus Jimmy Havoc happen still? And as you can see right there, yes, it is going to happen still. Do not worry. I was a bit worried. But I'm not anymore. Got that confirmation, so I cannot wait for this Devil's Den match. Whatever, if I gotta wait a little bit, it's gonna be worth it. And lastly, on my list of disappointment here, we would have had Johnny Blackcraft defending his newly won Blackcraft Heavyweight Championship against a preacher's hand-picked son, hand-chosen son. I can't remember how he said that. If you look at the advert, the little promotion thing that they used, the outline, to me, it looks like it's PCO, but it's not going to be PCO, because obviously, as we mentioned earlier in the video, he has that last man standing match with Chris Dickinson. But yeah, I'm assuming what that means is it's a opportunity for Blackcraft to debut someone freaking epic. I think I already mentioned him earlier in the video, but I want it to be Pentagon. I want Pentagon to show up in Blackcraft and just start breaking arms, because that's what Pentagon does. With that being said, Johnny Blackcraft already is recovering from an arm injury, so it'd work out perfectly. Have Pentagon come in, take that heavyweight championship, re-injure Johnny Blackcraft, because Pentagon is that dickhead. And that's why we all love Pentagon. He is an ass, he is a dick, he is some sort of genital, and I love him. He's so good. His work on Lucha Underground, his work in Impact, like, Pentagon's awesome. I want to see him show up eventually. And yep, that is pretty much it for the pay-per-view that could have been Blackcraft Wrestling's Reaper's Revenge. Again, I'm sure we're still going to be seeing some of this. It's just unfortunate that we have to wait a little bit. Maybe Blackcraft will give us a little bit more information down the road of what went down or why this couldn't have been. But for now, we just know that we do have to wait a little longer for some more BCW. Again, I am Chin, and I am that freaking Mark. Like, follow, share, subscribe. See, I'll say all that stuff at the end of the video, so you don't have to wait through it at the beginning. Yeah, if you like what you're seeing, just be sure to look up that freaking Mark on all of those social platforms, and you'll find this lovely mug. Up until next time, deuces and cahootses. Yeah, that's my outro. Bye.